to the Rondo. We're back again. Back again for a very special show. I feel like I'm going to enjoy it this week, man. Hey, just off the back of a drumming in the Manchester City derby. But yeah, that's going to actually be first on the agenda today. We're going to talk about, the Manchester derby after City drummed and disciplined United 3-0.
Okay.
Then we're going to move on to El Classico with the spotlight on Jude Bellingham. And then we're going to do some rondos. And then we're going to finish off with underrated goals. So I hope you're prepared. Raph, you're looking at me like you didn't.
I did not.
Okay, there we go. Rahimi, you did though.
I did.
My guy. And in the studio today, I've already done a couple of giveaways there. We got my boy Raph, he's back.
Back again.
Refreshed from
Finally.
his little holiday.
Yes.
The fans been missing you, They've been saying,
Don't worry.
They've been saying this guy's trying to take your place.
Gee, someone has to do it.
Go on, introduce yourself, my bro.
Is it what I mean? I feel like a lot of people know who I am.
Yeah.
Say
Mr. Jalen, he's a lot of appearances, giving us a lot of exposure, both good and bad. Perhaps a bit more bad recently. And we got my guy Rahimi in the building as well, man.
United's finest, man. 6-figure boy.
Hey.
United and finest. I'm not sure that's...
It's not the theme of the show.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the theme of the show. Well, without further ado, let's talk about the Manchester derby. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So City with quite an easy win in the end, kind of beating you 3-0. I thought, to be fair, I did feel like you guys were unfair with the penalty, but then I looked at the game after that and I just thought the way in which they dominated you, I'm not even sure we can really fix on that too much, so we won't be. We'll instead be talking about the difference between you and them. But yeah, let's start off on getting views of the game. Raph, would you like to start us off there? You look ready to go.
Yeah.
So just quickly little views on the game before we talk on our key talking points.
Let me just take a sip of my drink because I'll be needing that to talk about this shambles of a performance. Bro, don't laugh.
he said don't laugh.
Bro, you mustn't forget it was raining, bro.
What? No, word, it was raining still. But nah, terrible performance. Like you said, I did want to, like that first half an hour I was watching the match, or the first half I was fuming at the penalty. Such a soft penalty that you don't really see given. But given how the rest of the match went, I can't really use that as an excuse to say, to explain away the performance, because it doesn't. Like those 3 goals were coming either way, especially after the subs Ten Hag made. But yeah, I just thought it was a terrible performance, and it kind of just goes, it encapsulates everything that's gone wrong with United, really, from the players, the recruitment, to the coaching, to finally what's being produced on the pitch. Terrible from back to front. There's no identity. Nope. There's no semblance of a game plan aside from just long it to Rashford and see what sticks. There's
Not much sticking either.
There's no word.
Okay.
There's no idea in terms of how we want to defend and how we want to stop teams from scoring.
Yep.
There's no ideas in terms of how do we want to score ourselves. There's just nothing there. And from when I saw the lineup come out, I think I saw it like 20 minutes before the match started, I was so confused.
Yeah, just wanted to come in there, bro, just because looking at the lineup, looking at your second half performance, and when I'm looking at the levels between City and United
It's
right
ridiculous.
now, even also before the game, I remember Mark Goldbridge, elite content creator in the game, he made a video saying that he wanted to do a combined 11 on form, and normally he can always sneak in a United player.
You can't sneak. You can't.
And
There's
he
nothing
said,
to sneak.
I genuinely don't
There's
think
nothing to sneak.
a single United player comes in. Isn't that crazy?
It's bad.
Like, we're talking right now, the Manchester derby is...
I mean, if you
it's as one-sided as the Merseyside derby.
Stop it.
Merseyside
Firstly, if
derby.
you want to pronounce that properly.
Yeah, sorry, the Merseyside derby. That was a
That game
shambolic.
was a bit more competitive.
Yeah,
Bro, that game was a little bit more... It had a little bit more to it,
You can make
bro.
your argument. When Sky Sports, they love to do their stats, innit, before the match. Bro, some of the stats I saw were disgraceful. Like, in terms of like the last 15 games at Old Trafford, City have won like 9 or something like that. And it's embarrassing. But yeah, that lineup was so confusing. At the back four made no sense to me. I understand going through an injury crisis and whatnot, and I understand not having your preferred players fit. So cool, you don't have Luke Shaw and you don't necessarily trust Reguilon, but at the end of the day, if you've got fit players that are specialists in their position, surely that's better than playing Lindelof at left back, who's barely good. He can barely play his normal position as is. So why you think he can deputise and play another position is beyond me. Why you've got Johnny Evans starting the game. And to be fair to Evans, he didn't actually play that badly. He was probably one of the better players on the pitch for us. But nonetheless, it's like, why am I going into 2023 and I'm seeing a back four, 2 players that Jose has bought, 1 player that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has bought, and 1 player that Sir Alex Ferguson himself bought? Why is this happening at my club?
That's quite crazy, to be fair.
You had Varane fit, you had Reguilon fit. They've asked you before the match, why haven't you picked them? You didn't say it was fitness. You said it was tactical, and then you smiled as if he was doing something. Like, bro, don't... like, it's one thing to lose and you've got Varane playing and whatnot. That's fine. We can say whatever, but you just made terrible decisions here. And I can't use them as an excuse for why we didn't play well. Like, these, at the end of the day, Ten Hag, these are the decisions you've made, and they're very, very poor decision, and you're spiraling into and just making calamitous decision after calamitous decision. So cool, we lose. I didn't think we started off too badly. I think Gary Neville was overhyping it a bit on commentary. He was saying, yeah, United didn't play too badly in the first half. It was decent. I didn't think it was great. Let's apply some context. It's not bad if you're Sheffield United. I think if you're Manchester United at home, that's a terrible performance against anyone, regardless of who you're facing. I don't care that they're City and they're the best team in the world or whatnot. And then, yeah, the second half, I cannot for the life of me understand the substitution he made. We barely had control in midfield as it is. Eriksen is a passenger.
This guy's going in.
Like,
poor Rahimi ain't even spoken yet.
No,
you go on.
Let me just speak on Ten Hag because he's making some shocking decisions. We're playing in a match, right? Where,
just to guide you there, the way you're talking right now, do you feel like it's over for Ten Hag?
I get that, but yeah, I don't see any way back for him. I don't see him recovering. I don't see him recovering anything. I don't see us necessarily getting better anytime soon.
Recovery. I see it, bro.
So you're still Ten Hag in?
Oh yeah, facts. I think it's ridiculous to think that the manager is.
Man called you ridiculous, but go on.
You know, I think it's ridiculous to think that the main issue is Ten Hag. Obviously, he's part of the problem. Clearly, the stuff that he's doing on the pitch, the decisions he's making are poor. Yeah. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are poor. But bro, at the end of the day, hold on.
No, you finish.
At the end of the day, you get me. United as a club, the whole structure. You've said it yourself, Raph. We're done at it.
That's fine, yeah. That's fine. But, bro, do you not see some of these decisions he's making as us? Like, they're not even amateur. They're wrong.
If we talk decisions as well, you both had like different opinions on the lineup for the game.
Oh yeah.
So let's actually break it down. Like, what did you think was wrong with the lineup?
So the lineups.
Why did you think the lineup was fine?
So I didn't see an issue with the lineup just because I've
seen.
Bro? Hold on. There's an issue, bro. Calm down. You're gonna get some.
No, like, because I'm,
bro.
Like, no.
So in terms of
start getting disrespectful, I don't want to do that. We're all civilized here,
bro. In terms of the issues with the lineup, innit? His hands have been tied with that back four. We talked about the back four.
That's not true.
Bro. Okay, who should he have played? You tell me.
Varane and Reguilon.
Who are both coming back from injury, who are not injured.
Bro, they asked him before the match. He said, they asked him, is it due to fitness or is there any other reason?
This is the same manager that said that we don't play friendly.
He said no.
He was gassing.
What's that got to do with me?
Yeah, but managers say anything all the time.
His own words. He said, no, it is not fitness. It is tactical. So you can only analyze it as such. There is no, his hands are tied. Bro, if he comes out and says they're not fit, nobody's going to look, it looks better on him to say that. Nobody's going to look at him sideways for saying, yeah, they're not fit, I've picked them. Why have you come out and said it's tactical? Even if it was tactical, why? Give yourself some rope to hang yourself from. Like, bro.
What would you say to that?
What would you say to that, bro?
What, to the Ten Hag being or saying that it was a tactical
decision? Yeah, if it's a tactical decision.
I'll say what I've said on numerous occasions. Ferguson once said that the Invincible season is the greatest achievement that any Premier League club has done.
What's that got to do with anything?
Hold on, bro. Let me finish.
Sorry, bro.
Where you going with this stuff?
My point being, gaffers say BS all the time, bro. They say anything.
Yeah, but what would be the logic behind him saying that?
I'm saying that, bro. I have no idea.
What kind of mind game is that? That's the shittest mind game of all time. We don't know
what's going on behind the scenes, bro.
And neither does he. Bro, that's the point.
But in terms of the lineup, I'll tell you what my issue is, and I said it on the pod a couple of weeks ago when I was on. I have an issue when you play players out of position to accommodate lesser players. playing Bruno Fernandes right wing again today, it always makes no sense to me, but it will continue to confuse me. You're taking one of our best players out of the position that he performs well in to accommodate other Kwasi around the pitch. So it doesn't make any sense.
So you did see problems with the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no. But I was saying, let me land. You're just here.
No, because he asked you and you said...
Bro, the yak is just taking away. Like, just calm down.
Bro, he asked you... Did you see any problems with the lineup?
Yeah.
And you just said, your words, not mine.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see any problems with the starting lineup.
Yeah, and then I was going to continue, but then what did you say? You jumped in when that yak was taking all your system.
So is there a problem or is there not?
There was, bro.
I just want to clarify.
What, was there a problem with the lineup?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no, because you're just on this shoulder. There was no problem.
He said no.
So what was the problem?
What was the problem?
He said it, innit, the Bruno.
So I said, yeah. So
Bruno won, yeah.
Other than that, I understand why he played Eriksen. Eriksen doesn't have the legs. I've already established this. I've said this before. But when we do have the ball, Eriksen is probably the best player passing wise and like vision, ability, able to execute a pass. He's probably the best player that we have on the ball.
I disagree.
Who's better?
I disagree. Bruno and Mount. And
Who?
that's not
Who was the second one?
I wouldn't agree with that.
Who was the second one?
Bro, Eric, you're talking.
Who's the second
bro,
one?
this is not 2015.
Hold on.
Bro, this is not
Wait.
2015. This is not 2015, bro.
talking
But
about
no. Let's not redirect.
Mason Mount's
Let's not
final ball.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you? Anyway,
Mason Mount is, bro.
Why? That's what.
Eriksen's
What you
a
said is
better
all well and good
passer
about
than
Eriksen.
Eriksen is a better passer than Mason Mount.
But hold on, we knew he wasn't going to have much of the ball. The game plan clearly was to concede possession, pack the middle, and play on the break, which is the same. It's the same game plan for every game, regardless of if it's City or Sheffield. So why put on Eriksen when you know what you need? What you need from him? Yeah, but my point is the analysis is incorrect. The reasoning is flawed. It's suspect because we're not going to have the ball.
In your opinion, bro.
Well, no. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. It's what happened, bro. Eriksen had a howler of a game. Bro, it happened. No. It's not an opinion. Bro, it's not an opinion. Eriksen had a howler of a game because the game wasn't built for him. The game was made for a midfield player to run, track his runners. He failed to do that on numerous occasions.
So cool, I hear that.
Exactly.
I think even if we were to again break it down a bit further, second half.
You took.
I mean,
no.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think he got
the substitution that was made at half time. Obviously, he took off Amrabat. He brought on Mason Mount. He left McTominay and Eriksen very exposed in there. What do you think of that decision?
I think it was tactically inept. He was like doing that is crazy.
Thank you.
Like, I'm not deluded, man. See, there's certain things that he did today that he's been doing in previous games that make no sense from a tactical point. That today is one of them. I don't see why he took off. Actually, I do. He took off Amrabat probably because of the yellow card. But even then, you should trust your player. You get. If you've invested how much money into this guy, trust him that he's not gonna get a yellow card.
It's not even that, but also again, and this it even builds to a wider point in terms of, bro, what's the identity in terms of you've been brought here to do something. I think when Ten Hag was signed, it was all within like there was this whole, okay, he's gonna bring in an identity, he's gonna stick to his guns, he's gonna do something, and that's kind of what everybody expected, and you've not done that, and so now you've got a player like McTominay who you've never rated. You've made that clear from day one. You especially don't rate him to play central midfield. He made that
clear from day one. He was keeping Casemiro at the team for the longest. Yes or no?
No, he kept
for a good period. He
relied on him for a few games to turn around the tide, and then dropped him completely. And then he's clearly tried to sell him, move him on. He's made it clear he doesn't want McTominay. That's fine. That's your decision. Fair enough. You've made it clear you don't trust him as a number 6. Not only that, yeah, we've all watched McTominay for a long time.
He can't play 6.
Exactly. Whether you think he's a good player, and you think he's got good qualities like I do, or you think he's a total scrub, fair. But it's clear as day to everyone that he's more of a number 8. Number 6 just is a non-starter for him. So now why you've taken off a natural number 6 to move McTominay there, who you've never trusted to play that position from day one, against the best team in the country. And then further than that, you still got the rest of your midfielders out of position, because Eriksen is not also a centre midfielder by trade. He's a number 10. Bro, it's more than tactically inept. It's suicide. It's sabotage. It's naive. Guy, you cannot make decisions like that at this level. All
right, I just want to come in there, yeah. So aside from all of that, you also did say that, Ten Hag showed some, real tactical naivety and almost, you said he was tactically inept.
Yeah, he threw away the game today.
Why do you still back Ten Hag? Why do you feel like he can turn it around?
I just feel like there's bigger problems at the club. But secondly, what do we do when he's gone? So what, you sack him, we go through the same cycle of matting again. We're going to go for a manager. He might do well at the start. He might get a little boost from the players. Eventually, those players will, because they're rotten to the core. So my issue is more with the players, by the way, than the manager. But
I have an idea.
But yeah, I think the same cycle will just continue over and over again, and nothing will change.
I think part of the problem, I think Raph touched on it, was to do with the identity, right? So you guys thought he was going to come in and play football. During the summer, he said that you want to be the best transition team in the world.
Managers chat shit, by the way.
But does it look like that right now?
Best transition team. It looks nowhere.
If we look at the tactics, like even the decisions that he made today, Bruno playing right wing, I think Gary Neville even said it, like, Guardiola was having the game of his life.
If you want to play,
just relax.
and this is the thing.
There's a few things that he does.
That's not a transition decision.
He makes incoherent decisions.
There's a few things that he does that makes no sense, and I've touched on it before. The Bruno Fernandes one playing at right wing, or anybody playing out of position that is clearly excelling in their regular position, you're moving them out to accommodate other players. It makes no sense to me. But
and he came out after the game and he actually said in his interview that the game plan worked well.
That's what I'm like.
That's what he said after
he said, bro.
the interview. I think he's trolling me personally. I think there's no way he's talking like this after
that's what he said.
like that. But bro, that's crazy.
I just want to come in there. So Raph, I think, to be fair, I think Rahimi made a good point there in regards to the fact that he thinks sacking the manager is just going to be another cycle. So he wants to be patient with Ten Hag. Why would you say that we should forget about that and we should just still sack him?
Listen, I don't necessarily disagree with that. In fact, I don't really. It is going to start the cycle again, and there probably isn't a better manager out there right now. Or in fact, there's probably not somebody suitable that I think would be able to come into this situation and turn things around magically, whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's just certain things you can't let slide, right? And he's
getting the fundamentals wrong.
He's getting the fundamentals wrong, and there's nothing.
Even I see that.
There's nothing I can see. There's nothing I can watch. There's nothing that he can say right now that makes me think, okay, let's give him time. He's building towards something. Maybe when Ratcliffe comes in, whatnot, he'll give him a proper structure. Because even regardless of that, I can't say I've seen enough from him, ideas-wise, coaching-wise, that suggests he's the man for the job. He seems out of his depth. I'll be honest. If I was what I would do right now, personally,
football's such fine margins. Like,
bro,
he's saying he seems out of his depth is nuts. Because last year he was going toe to toe with big teams.
But no, he wasn't. What performance?
There was even points last season where we weren't losing at all. We were going through streaks where we kept on winning.
We had one streak and we had fairly easy opposition. There's not one match against the top six that we had or against good opposition where I said, cool, we can hold our heads up high and say we really played well.
Liverpool home.
Yeah, you played well in that game, but we weren't good last season.
Liverpool did. No. Again, apply context.
But the thing is,
apply context.
Oli had that as well.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not disputing.
Do you know what I mean? So is it really like a big thing like that? Like Man United are supposed to play well in big games.
I'll be real. Let me set myself up for the cooking, yeah? Let me set up. Bring Oli back. Bro, bring Oli back.
You loved Oli, to be fair.
Bro, if you look at the past 10 years, Oli was clearly our best manager. I think in terms of, he's the only one that had somewhat of an identity. I think people had their theories and whatnot that there were certain coaching issues, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. But we played our best football with him. We had our best set of results, and against big teams, I can say during that first year and a half, aside from when it started going wrong, I never went into a match against a big team thinking, oh, we're going to get walloped and that we can't get a result. Every time we came up against City, Arsenal, Liverpool, whatnot, Chelsea, I thought to myself, you know what? We can actually win this and win this one well. And more often than not, we got very good results. Like, bro, Oli had Pep scratching his head, bro. Scratching his head numerous times.
Against smaller teams, though.
Dan James,
I was just about to
I
say
agree.
that.
But that's a better problem. For me, that's a better problem to have, because I think against smaller teams under Oli, I think the main issue was it was more build up from deep. When teams
low block, we couldn't count.
Yeah, we just had no ideas in terms of low blocks, really. Yeah. But that's solvable with like a needle passer here, there, or whatnot. Someone
you can get through it.
You can get through that
if you got top players.
Yeah, but right now we have the same issue where it's not even that we're struggling to beat smaller teams. We're struggling to just stay alive against them.
No, you see against Sheffield.
Yeah, United haven't had a good game.
We haven't had a good game. The only game
United have played well, in my opinion, was against Palace in the EFL. Palace's B team.
Yeah, that's B team. B team.
Okay, they played okay against you.
I think we played
but even still, it was
no. I disagree.
But it was a job.
We did a job. We did a job, and I think.
And I think they played well though. I said played well.
Nah.
Exactly. That's
I can't remember the last time we played well.
But guys, last point before we move off United, I just wanted to say, we had the last point we had on the agenda. Let me just look at what was it again. Okay. Oh, Bruno and Rashford. So I just want to say, so again, Bruno and Rashford.
Let's just okay. 20 minutes for Jalen. Let's just.
I'm asking it to you guys. So Bruno and Rashford, yeah, they're two players that you both have rated very highly. Both of you have said that they are world-class players. Now, going into big games this season, and also, like, to be fair, Rashford last season was well in big games, but Rashford this season been very poor in big games. Bruno, for a while, has not been great in big games. Are these guys actually world-class? Surely, if they're the level that you're saying, they should be able to...
Bruno Fernandes is Rashford is teetering. And even then, when I say teetering, he hasn't ever sustained a world-class level for an extended period. It's only been in bursts.
Fair enough.
Why is Bruno world class?
Why is Bruno world class? I think Bruno in any other team, yeah. Do you see our team? There's so many issues with my club, but if I'm talking Bruno specifically, he gets played out of... When was the last time he played in the hole? I can't remember the last time he actually played where he likes playing. He's always getting shifted onto the right. That's the first thing. And I think that's why his performances have dipped significantly. Number two, I think these men have played way too much. Last year, Bruno and Rashford played
7 games.
Bro, they played an outrageous amount of games. Why do you think people's legs have gone near the start of the season?
They played a lot of games.
Casemiro's legs gone. Bruno, who's always active, he's always running, he's always trying his best. I don't even see him running and putting in it. He can't do it anymore. They played. I think they've played too many games. I'd say those two players specifically have played so much that they're now worn out. And now as the fan base are getting onto them because we're not seeing them going for 50-50s. They're not doing what they should be doing.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I got one thing to say, and that's it. I'm gonna say this for you guys to consider, yeah. But I think I've asked you this before. Do you feel like Rashford and Bruno are more of like the supporting cast, or are they supposed to be the main men that you build around?
Bruno can. I don't know about Rashford.
I think both of them are more like the supporting cast, and there should be, another star there to really like focus on him.
That's more than fine. And bro,
that's not world-class players.
Yeah,
no,
that's not true. No, they can be world class, but I just feel like
supporting cast player.
Okay. Of course, because you look like Mane was supporting cast. He was like world class. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like Mane,
even like Rodri for City, he's supporting cast.
We made the point. We made the point about
he's a defensive player.
Fine.
We made the point earlier in the week about like Salah like at Liverpool.
Fair.
If you took Salah out of like Liverpool's attack, are any of those guys like able to step up and really like carry that team? And I feel like Man United are kind of in that similar position. But the problem is that your fans think that Rashford is that guy or Bruno is that guy. I just think that they're both supporting cast members, innit?
I think Bruno is... I would disagree with Rashford.
Fair. I'm kind of with Rahimi,
Bruno is
I can see it in Bruno if he's got like the right system and good coaching. I can't see it with Rashford. I don't think Rashford's
bear in mind that they've just spent 70 million on Hodgland as well, so it does seem like they're relying on Rashford and Bruno to kind of be those.
Yeah, I think they can step up to that level, and I think what's unfair on them is that both of them have never been in a position, in a consistent system with a team that's playing well, with a team that's properly coached. So all this analysis we're doing on them, we only have certain bits and pieces of information to go on. We don't have the full picture to properly analyze them. It's not like, for example, Saka and Martinelli, where we can analyze, for instance, when they're actually having bad games, right? Because Arsenal are a proper team; they're properly coached, so we can say when it's them.
What they should be doing, and if they're not doing,
I'm never. But that's my point, right? Whereas Rashford and Bruno have never had that luxury, so I don't think it's fair on them. What they have shown is consistency to take responsibility, consistency to be able to drag the team up. So these two players are not my problem. These two players are not my problem.
We're 23.
Roy Keane said that they should take the captaincy of Bruno, bro. Like, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about
I sent that in the chat before I came in. That rattled me because I can't believe Roy Keane, he's still my captain. He's been my captain for the last 20, 30 years. If he's saying that about Bruno, then he must be seeing something that
he is quite petulant though. He doesn't really like when the going gets tough. He's one of your worst players, like in terms of his attitude.
I think it's because he cares though. There's some man on that pitch that don't.
He cares too much. Care in the right ways, bro.
Let me say this. There's man on that pitch today that I saw ducking out 50-50s and not running, not closing down the players. Yeah. And the difference is stark between that of the City players who are just better than them all technically and physically, but also they're running and putting in the effort. How can there be that much of a difference between the United players and the City players?
But bro, there's a difference when you're talking about caring. What you want to see when you see a player, he's in a situation where his team's up against it, you want to see him show that he cares through his performance, through playing football, through trying to bring people up.
To galvanize
the team, not through moaning and fouling and nearly getting. He nearly got sent off, Bruno. He had a swipe at, I think it was Guardiola, and he's just lucky that he missed. Would have got sent off.
I like a bit of that.
I like the fire still. I'd prefer that than to the people that are moist, the men that are sitting at home. Sancho.
I don't know about that. It's part of the problem with these guys. They can't see it. He's encouraging guys like Anthony, who comes on and does what in with his attitude. But we got to move off United. We're not going to have enough time today, so
that was basically
about plenty.
That was just
I couldn't let you come and spit your propaganda, man.
Anyway,
your propaganda. Absolutely not, man.
All right, guys. El Clasico quickly. So we're not going to do too much in El Clasico. We're only going to talk about one guy.
Oh boy,
that one guy might just be the most informed player in the world right now. I think he's he might just be the best player in the world right now on form. It's Jude Bellingham. 2 goals in El Clasico. It's an absolute madness. I think he's got something like 15 goals and assists from midfield. And it's the end of October. I think he's only played about 10 league games or something like that. I think it's 13 games altogether.
He can stop now and say his numbers are respectable for the
more goals than Zidane.
Huh?
More goals than Zidane ever had.
In his best season at Madrid.
So Bellingham's been absolutely crazy. So I guess the question is for me is, how does this end for him? I'm going to give it to Jalen because I think you guys have. Yeah, where does the season go? What is he going to achieve? Is he going to go and win a Ballon d'Or? Because the way that we're looking now, these are the conversations that he might be in when we get to the end of the season. We've also got the Euros. Yeah. So, Jalen, I'll let you take it away.
It's the same point that I've made with Saka and Kane, in all honesty. If their teams win the league, if their teams go far in the Champions League and England win the Euros, one of these England players is going to win the Ballon d'Or. I don't know who it's going to be because it depends on who does win the Champions League. But who else is really up there?
You bring in Saka in. I don't.
Obviously, you disagree with that one. If we look at Bellingham and Kane, as I said, if both of their teams have a very good run in the Champions League, like they might go to the final. If England get to the Euros and they end up winning, by all means, they're in pole positions to win the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. You know, so I think we've left kind of that period in the Ballon d'Or now where someone is definitively has to be at the top regardless of what they win. Like, you know, with Messi and Ronaldo, if they didn't necessarily win a Champions League, they'd still be in that top 3 conversation. I don't think there's a player now that is kind of in that same category. You could argue Mbappe, but at the same time, you look at this season, for example, and it's like they didn't go far in the Champions League. They didn't win the World Cup, and he's not in the top 2. So I think it's a very good opportunity for Bellingham to go and really knock on the door right now, because I feel longer term, I can't see him continuously scoring this amount of goals. I think Real Madrid eventually will sort out their attack. They might bring in a better 9. They might bring in, other goal scorers, and he's going to have to play in a slightly deeper position. So this is probably a good opportunity for him to go on and win. I'm not going to say his best opportunity because we don't know how far it might go. But yeah, man. I think the inevitability is
one
crazy.
thing I was going to say there is it was a point on Trey. Couldn't join us today because he decided to chicken out as Barca lost. He's a big Barca fan as well as a Chelsea fan. Just to remind the listeners, he said that we shouldn't get carried away with Bellingham. He still believes he's a bit overrated because he's basically playing like an SS right now. And does that mean the numbers that he's returning are a bit inflated? No. Should we think about them as really the numbers of a midfielder when he's playing so advanced?
No. That's not fair.
Because not everybody can do that. What he's doing, what he's being asked to do, not everybody can do. Yeah. Real Madrid currently have no striker. He's being asked to score X amount of goals. He's not just doing that, but he's directly affecting games. He's winning those games. So
Vinicius Junior said that he's like CR7.
He's like CR7.
That is the biggest compliment that you can give someone.
That's
inevitability that you create yourself as a player, that aura, just to know that when you go into like the 90th minute of a game and it's 1-1, the opposition are looking at you. It used to be Sergio Ramos used to be kind of similar, like in the last couple minutes of games. If there's a corner, you're looking at him, you're looking at Ronaldo. Now you're looking at Bellingham.
Yeah,
it's nuts to think like that.
That's a mad quality to have. Like being a world-class player and having that inevitability is ridiculous.
The fact that he's gone to Madrid at 20 years old and the Madrid players already have this level of respect for him.
It's infectious.
Like Vinicius is a big-time player. Vinicius saying that he's coming out and saying, he's basically saying that, bro, I feel like
over the keys.
We said this when we watched England the other day and we saw him commanding and speaking to all the other players on the pitch. He looks like the captain in every environment he's been in. He continues to prove everyone wrong. Yeah. He looks like the captain everywhere.
Yes. I think a wider point on the El Clasico though, it would be good to see Barcelona have someone kind of similar to the profile of Bellingham. I'm talking about like on a global scale now. Like a superstar over there that he can really like rival with. Because when you look at the El Clasico,
that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's always been like when I've grown up, you had like the Galacticos go against like Ronaldinho, you had S3E12, obviously Henry went there, Messi was there, you had Messi and Ronaldo obviously have their rivalry. Bale and Neymar ended up going there. Like the best attacking players in the world usually end up at Real Madrid and Barcelona. So it would be good now to see Barcelona go and get someone like that, and
Barca fans are trying to say Pedri.
Yeah, but he's not really like when I'm talking about superstar. I'm not talking about like the Javis and that. I'm talking about the
Someone
superstar
in advance,
attackers.
Game breaker.
Yeah, like it's you against you. You know, like how Mbappe went against Messi in the World Cup final. That's what the El Clasico.
El Clasico is about. Yeah, we want to bring it back to the Ronaldo.
Yeah, and I
Messi
want it to get back to that. So
what a time it was! That Mourinho versus Pep Madrid Barca era.
It was crazy,
bro. That was crazy, bro. Like the whole of the UK would be watching El Clasico, bro. Like,
I think the UK are watching it now naturally because of Bellingham, but
no,
to
but
get
it was
like
mad
the
back then,
wider fan base, like to really watch it, I think he needs to be going up against someone because you want to go into those games and be interested to see who comes out on top. And I feel like we lost that over the last few years. I wasn't really interested in it.
Last point I want to make is it's a point from myself. Just watching Bellingham do that in the El Clasico, score 2 goals, and I think as we just said, he's right now he's the face of Madrid, he's the face of La Liga, and then also to see Kane in the same weekend whip it in from his own half like an absolute, like, you know, Bundesliga fans and Bayern fans were going crazy saying it's a goal of the season contender and talking about how great he's been. He's got a great goal return in his first few games. I think it's something like 13 goals, 7 assists.
He's unbelievable.
Right now, England is the face of football. We got the face of the Bundesliga in Kane.
Yeah.
We got the face of La Liga in Jude Bellingham. We've got hella excellent players here in the Premier League.
The Prem is the face of football.
And as we were saying, the Prem is the face of football generally. And as we're saying, potentially an English player could win the Ballon d'Or. We're moving mad right now. And this all comes to a certain Mr. Man in the waistcoat. I want that Euros.
We absolutely have to win.
We have to win. And as Jalen was saying before, he said it in the group chat, we need to do a couple. We need the Euros.
We need to have a
and the World Cup. We need to be a serious national side in this era. You know, like Spain back in the day, France have been. They only have the World Cup, but they've been very like
dominant,
credible, dominant in international competition. We need to start moving like that because when you're thinking of those things, it's been a while since there's been that amount of international quality within one nation. Yeah, like that's a mad thing.
When they say a golden generation, this
is a peak golden generation, not just in the Prem as well. We're talking internationally.
And like I think what Maddison's been doing this season in the Premier League is crazy.
That's someone who don't start.
It's slightly gone under the radar.
That's someone who don't start.
That's another player that is.
Grealish today was excellent against United. He doesn't start right now. He's going to start very soon. Rashford's going to come out the side, but he doesn't. So I think that's a madness. But
the only thing that worries me is like. In fact, this is a good question. Do you think this golden generation is better than the previous England?
The entire squad, yes, but not the first 11.
That's a good question.
I thought about this Bears. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking just now.
I've done lineups.
The starting 11 that the old generation had was better, but I think the squad here is better. However, the chemistry in this particular squad
is a lot better.
It's a lot better.
And the harmony on the pitch.
Plus, I think the 11's better.
Yeah, I mean, look at the back.
Are you sure you're looking at it retrospectively?
No.
The names are better.
Ashley Cole's the best left back in the world.
John Terry and Ferdinand.
John Terry and Real Ferdinand.
It's nowhere near. It's crazy.
Gerrard and Lampard.
Gerrard Lampard.
I got Rooney up top.
Really up top.
Ballon d'Or winning
Owen up top. Oh my days.
These men are struggling.
That team was mental. But when you think about the fact that that team, I don't feel like they ever got the lineup correct.
Yeah, they didn't have
nowhere near. Like we say, we moan a bit about Southgate, but at least like it makes sense in terms of profiles, in terms of position. I feel like they're all over the place, and also I feel like international competition was of a real high level back then.
For sure.
Bro, Brazil were mad, France were mad, even Italy were mad. Right now, did you see that Italy team they played the other day? Sorry, Raph.
No, I agree,
shocking. I feel like other than...
But that's what worries me about this England. That's what worries me.
Who's got our quality?
I think Portugal got decent.
I think Portugal
got a decent.
They're missing. They don't have like they've got certain superstars or like good players, but
this is the thing. Like international football is. It's never really going to be like a full 11 of good players, isn't it? Usually there's going to be one or two players. Even England have that. Look at Maguire's playing at centre-back. Like, there's different positions that aren't going to be as strong as others. As long as you've got like 2 or 3 superstars, you're always going to be there.
Yeah. But if you think about it though, they're at least the same level as the teams that we're talking about. That English golden gen is mad, but the Brazil team's better. The Brazil team's better, which is great. 100%. They weren't the best team at the time. To be fair, I think after the Brazil team, they're probably on par with the others. But the Brazil team's head and shoulders above.
I think we had... Like our midfield was the best in the world. Like there's individually, those players were better than all these other countries.
Who did Brazil have in midfield?
I think our midfield was nuts. Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholes, bro.
Who just Scholes? Yeah, but Scholes never got in the team like that.
Zidane and Vieira.
That's nuts. So that's what the case is.
That was a crazy era, bro. Like it wasn't even a joke. But I think the only thing I'd say on England is the problem now is that there's expectation in it. So obviously expectation brings pressure, and we don't know how this England team is going to react to that. I think at all the other tournaments, they've gone into it and it's kind of been like, however far we go, we'll take it.
And then when it finally
we're just on the journey,
you know the pressure done to them.
Yeah, kind of similar to like kind of Arsenal last year. Like we were just on the journey.
Yeah.
But I think now it's like, we actually have an expectation, and the people that live here, we expect to win now, innit? Do you know what I mean? So how are they going to deal with that?
We deserve a win still. We deserve a major trophy.
Cool. We haven't really beaten that many big sides.
That's what worries me.
The only big team that we beat was Germany, if I remember.
That's just a big team by name, not the personnel.
Yeah, they weren't even
personnel weren't really too crazy.
They weren't
and the performance wasn't really like dominant.
Yeah. That's what even like the Italy.
Like we should be able to go brazy on a big nation side.
You got to think all the big teams that we played recently. Yeah, you look at that. Croatia, we lost to. We lost to obviously Italy in the final.
Belgium.
And we lost to France.
Belgium.
And we lost to Belgium as well. Yeah, so like all of these big teams in the big tournaments, we haven't.
We got to do better. Yeah. We got to do better, man. I want to see us beat at least like beat a big side convincingly in this next tournament.
Guys' fault still.
But yeah, we're not going to go in on England. There's another international break coming up, so we can talk soon on that.
But yeah, spot for me and Raph. No,
good times.
Guys, Rondos. Before we do underrated goals, so Jalen, you're going to kick us off.
Kick you off?
Yeah, you're going to kick us off. Still, I think you had one for us. So basically, recently, you've not been the most popular Rondos. But
that is a shame.
You got one video which is doing all right on our Instagram talking about Nketiah. And today I was just, it was yesterday. You guys played yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday you guys played. But even still today, quite a few comments are coming in. And a lot of guys are telling you that you need to come with a bit more respect talking about Eddie and Nketiah.
I don't know, man. I don't feel like one Premier League hat-trick should change my opinion of Eddie Nketiah. I've never said he's a bad player. I just don't think he's up to the standard of us. He's a mid-table striker, in my opinion. Yeah. If we look at all the other strikers that have scored Premier League hat-tricks, I'm going to go through some of them now. Yeah. Robert Earnshaw, Jermaine Pennant, Marcus Bent, Leon Best has a Premier League hat-trick. Charlie Austin, Aruna Kode, Solomon Rondon has a hat-trick, bro.
Rondon?
Yes. Timu Pukki. Bro, there's names on here.
There's no way Solomon
Rondon has a Premier League hat-trick, bro. These men all have hat-tricks.
Rondon having a hat-trick is
so just because Eddie Nketiah scored a hat-trick,
sorry, bro,
but that's just my point. Yeah. I'm saying just because he scored a hat-trick, I don't want Arsenal fans to now go overboard and say, he's at the level that. No, but nothing's changed. Yeah, he's a cool.
I don't think anyone's ever said that.
Let him finish. Nothing's changed for you.
As I said, like nothing for me personally has changed just off seeing Eddie Nketiah score a hat-trick against Sheffield United at home. What changed?
So you'd still let him go?
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what it is? I think the problem as well is more like we look at like the backup striker for Arsenal as like that's the role that people obviously give Eddie.
Yeah.
But I think Gabriel Jesus, obviously he's a very specific type of striker. I think it's more you want like a complementary profile to him and an alternative option. And I don't see Eddie as that. So it's even that as well. Regardless of like the actual level, I just don't think he's the right profile striker to be complementary. To Gabriel Jesus. So him scoring a hat-trick, bro, changes nothing.
Even the quality of that third goal. Bro,
it's a quality goal, but again, we've seen strikers lower down in the league score brazy goals, bro. What does that mean? Andros Townsend used to score bangers all the time. He didn't play for Man City. You know what I mean? So
fair
doesn't mean anything to me, man.
Raph, you're going to come in there.
Yeah, I don't think Jalen's doing his usual trickery and sleight of hand here. I don't think the conversation isn't Nketiah should be the long-term striker for Arsenal or should be someone you keeping around for the long term. I think the conversation is very much in the here and now because we're seeing Jesus underperform. I know you guys were ranting and raving about his performance against Seville, but
none of us agree with
aside from that, I don't think his performances have been that great this season. I think you can really, really boil them down to he's just getting injured and running around in circles, running around roundabouts, doing a couple nice touches here and there, which you Arsenal fans love to get tricked by and fooled by. You love your nice touches.
United fans don't get tricked by anything.
Yeah.
Do we have the light? But control for the light. Oh, cool.
But I think the conversation right now is with Jesus underperforming, has Nketiah done enough?
I don't think
to put pressure on him or overtake him right now in the starting spot, or at least put some pressure on him. And I think it's hard. It's hard to disagree.
Because we've been here before. Like we were here last season. Eddie went on a run where I think he scored the brace against United. He scored against Brighton. Like there's games where last season he had like a run of 4 or 5 games, and we ended up in the same situation a month later where Trossard had to come into the team because the attack eventually just looked a lot worse than what it was when Jesus was starting.
But you still have the
I think
problem.
even if Eddie does come into the team now, which I don't think should happen.
Oh, you drop him next game?
Bro, if Jesus is fit, he is the number one striker. I don't care if he scored a hat-trick, bro. That's our number one.
He's not playing well.
So when he's fit, what do you mean he's not playing well? He just had a man-of-the-match campaign against, who is it? Sevilla.
And they're not great, bro.
What do you mean they're not great? We just played Sheffield United at home. Are they great?
That's fine.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine, but
we're playing Newcastle away next week.
over the past,
Jesus ain't been too great in the league though.
Yeah, but neither has Eddie though.
He's been better than Jesus.
We played against Man United. We played against Spurs. We played against City. Yeah, all at home. Eddie Nketiah didn't just have a poor game. He had stinkers in those 3 games. Let's be very frank about it. Yeah, he came back into the side against Sheffield United. Cool. Yeah, again you got your hat trick. But respectfully, whoever played up top that game probably would have shined. That's just me being honest. Sheffield United at home is not. It's not a big fixture to me.
Regardless,
yeah, so it doesn't change anything.
I was watching.
Well done to Eddie for scoring a hat trick. Fantastic. Give him a little round of applause.
I feel like
but next week, bring the main man back if he's fit.
I feel like fans have an emotional attachment to homegrown players. That's why if anyone calling for Eddie to start, I think it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think also when he first came into the side, you got to think the only other alternative was Lacazette. So naturally, he was already going to look a lot better than what he was. Do you know what I mean?
Fair. All right, guys. Enough on Eddie. Just wanted it to be a rondo. Have we got any others?
You don't say it.
No.
Nothing.
I got one still.
Okay, you got
Yeah,
one.
so
Put the bib on.
I got to talk on. I got to do my Liverpool prop. It's been a while.
Oh man.
So yeah, let me dash the bib on. I even forgot to tell Jalen to wear the bib, man. Oh, well.
Ain't it meant to be
Still a
red?
good discussion. Huh?
Ain't it meant to be red?
Let's see what he says first.
Yeah, we'll turn it red. You can turn it red if you choose to do so. But yeah, basically, I just want to say, I just want some respect. I know I've been calling for it and he's been getting more, but I want even more to come Salah's way because right now
I'm so tired of this.
when I'm watching this guy right now, yeah, he's one of the most complete attackers in world football right now, in my opinion.
Okay.
When I'm looking at him play right now and I'm thinking of his evolution and for him to be able to do this, I just think so much credit has to come his way. He's gone from being a very direct inside forward, very much only associated with his goals and assists, to now being an absolute complete footballer. I don't want to hear now Salah's just goals and assists. If you watch the game today, he got 2 pre-assists. Continuously in games now, he's making incisive passes, which are just unreal. I think we need to now start talking about Salah as the complete forward he is. I don't want to hear, when we're doing debates with other players, I don't want to hear, but Salah just does goals, Salah just does assists. I want now Salah to be spoken about as a complete player because other than goals and assists, he gives much more than that now.
Okay. You don't disagree?
That's nice.
Nothing has changed for me for Salah. You get me? It's just the same.
You think nothing's changed? Now this guy can take the bib. This guy's coming this guy's way, man.
Bro.
I wasn't.
How's nothing changed?
That was gonna happen, man.
Salah, try. Nothing has changed. Nothing has
You
changed.
think it's the same player?
His passing was always decent. He makes the odd incisive pass. His finishing has always been excellent. His dribbling has always been he's always been good. He's very good.
Oh, fair
no
enough.
one has disputed.
Complimentary.
Nobody has disputed what you're saying in it. But to say Mohamed is the complete. Bro, saying he's
one of the most complete attackers in the world.
Nobody
right
just ever disagreed with that.
No one says no. Nobody says no. Man.
You're arguing with yourself.
Fair enough, man. I'll be hearing the stuff.
The problem is you just like to go a bit too far sometimes.
Fair enough if we all agree. Also, I think right now Szoboszlai is the second best signing of the season.
Who's the first?
I also think
James Maddison has to be number 1.
I also think Szoboszlai is top 3 midfielders in the league right now.
Oh,
Would you put James Maddison as a better? No, would you put both of those as a better signing than Declan Rice?
Oh, Declan Rice is another good one.
Declan Rice is number 2, but Maddison is number 1.
Nah, Szoboszlai and Declan Rice, if you think about the fee.
The fee.
I'll probably say Declan Rice has been better than Szoboszlai.
No, but
Szoboszlai was 60 mil, so then you have to say...
So what? No, but you can't...
What do you mean, so what?
The fee,
Obviously, signing of the season. That's why Maddison is the best. Maddison was...
Szoboszlai is not as influential, I think,
as Rice.
Yeah.
No, he's not. That's what I said. But I'm saying, if you think about Rice is 100 million, and I think he's playing like £100 million player, which is great, but you're getting what you paid for.
Okay.
100 million.
Are you getting anything more than what you
I was going to say, I think Rice is
so. I feel like Szoboszlai right now
than
probably paying like an
Szoboszlai.
80 mil CM player.
I'll be serious.
Yeah. Bro, if you guys think about the current market,
who's doing more for their
60
team?
mil is like, you would say...
Maddison.
Even if No, Maddison.
Yeah.
No,
It's
Madison been playing
what's
mad.
what's
Exactly,
Maddison
no,
worth
but that's how much he
based on
cost.
How he's played.
Madison's worth 100 million with the way he's playing right now.
So then-
He is.
so
With
then-
on form, of course he is. He's like the best, bro. He's like on form.
He's not 100.
But if you're talking about on form, obviously I don't think Maddison will keep this up. But you're talking about on form. Of course, Maddison right now is playing like £100 million player.
No.
He is probably top 3 players in the league right now. Might be the best.
I think he's currently the best player in the league.
Yeah, he might be the best player in the league, bro. Of course, he's playing like £100 million player. He won't. I don't think he'll keep it up. Can you do it in the crunch moments as well?
Okay.
Which is what you need. But if you're talking about on form, of
Oh
course.
yeah, let me say something quickly on this Spurs situation. James Maddison gets a lot of plaudits here, but if we look at the other signings that Spurs have made, I feel like they're going under the radar a little bit in terms of how that translates to how they play. Van der Ven
is
has
he's
been
an excellent centre back.
extremely good, bro. And if you look at Spurs' defense before that, he's kind of come in and shored things up there. Even the goalkeeper now, I think Vicario could be arguably like the second best keeper by the end of the year.
Really?
No,
Well, not
honestly,
second best with Edison. I think he could 100% be in
He's
that
very
category.
good though, Vicario.
he's very good.
Yeah, so I feel like James Maddison has come in and done
just
very
on
well.
the second thing, wait. So you think he's gonna be ahead of
I think
Edison?
I think he'll be with Edison. I think he does. He's a very reliable keeper, bro.
He does the fundamentals.
He's
well
an
from
old
what I've seen.
fashioned. Yeah, he's an old
he's
fashioned
very
type of
reliable
goalkeeper.
and he's
and
good.
those
But I think
goalkeepers
it's
to me,
disrespectful to Edison.
I don't think it's disrespectful. I think
Can't
he's.
lie, after what I saw today, slightly yes.
It is. Bro.
what sense?
Edison's gone up a
Some
level.
of the saves that I
Okay,
saw
fair
today-
enough. You know what?
previously Edison
in recent times,
Edison used
I
to be
might
a
still be
scrub.
looking at
Edison used to be a scrub.
I might still be looking at it like it used to be. You know, let me hold my hands up.
Edison's saving ability was never the best.
That
but
Bruno
now-
shot today,
Yeah,
old
yeah,
Edison
yeah,
lets
yeah,
that
yeah.
in.
Oh,
Old Edison parries that in.
Edison
Yeah, he's going through his body. Yeah. That near post, he's going through his body as well.
Somebody when I just held my hands up, I said, "That's
Yeah,
insane."
you know,
Like the
yeah,
power.
fair enough.
To be fair, I don't think that was
insane. It was a solid save.
It was like
I think that save was not, bro.
So
I
what
think
that
that save was
save?
nuts. I think the save was
No,
mad. I think the save was
no.
so powerful, yeah. For my man to twist, because you see it, he twists his hand so that the ball flies out. He's
Yeah,
cold,
yeah,
bro.
It was a solid
He's cold.
save.
It was a good save,
I don't
but
think
it
it was.
was- yeah.
Onana made about two.
Onana made better
yeah,
saves.
Onana
Made
was
better
better.
save. Onana made some crazy saves today.
Onana was alright today, man. He's a black
Onana was
keeper,
better
bro.
today.
It's probably his best performance.
I think the other
Yeah.
thing. You looked done with Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I wanted to touch on Roy Hodgson's comment as well.
Okay.
He said
Let's see if this Rondo works.
I wouldn't necessarily. Well, have you guys got any other Rondos or you?
Has any man got any other Rondo?
And I got calm ones. Like,
Oh, fair, it's cool.
Calm ones.
yeah, like Wayne Rooney's the best English player of all time. Like,
Oh, bro, that's not a Rondo.
not
That's
a Rondo, man.
common.
See what I'm saying,
That's
bro?
common
Man,
opinion.
just turn it back
That's
to green.
common opinion.
well, like, Rose, we're doing common opinion today. We're doing, Salah's a great
I
player.
got a question.
Yeah,
Rondo. I think
yeah,
I
yeah,
asked-
you guys
I
said there
asked you,
wasn't
man-
one, so
I asked you, man, during the week, though, before we go back to the Roy Hodgson thing. I said to you, like, we look at Cole Palmer kind of being like that main man for Chelsea right now, kind of playing like that. Would you rather be in his position, or would you rather be like a squad player, like a Man City that's not, kind of on the fringes of things, or would you rather
Chelsea.
be like the main man at Chelsea right
Chelsea.
now?
Chelsea.
I think it
Depends
depends
what Chelsea are gonna do,
Yeah,
though.
it depends on the event.
Like,
Chelsea-
obviously,
Chelsea-
just based on how you're analysing it right now, like obviously,
Well, I do feel
he
like
played very
Chelsea
well in that first half. but-
Eventually,
Yeah, they're gonna come good eventually.
Huh?
I feel like Chelsea are gonna.
They will come good eventually.
There's
They've
no
got so much resources.
There's no
They have
guarantee
a
of
they
that.
have a good manager.
There's no guarantee.
I
Yeah.
feel,
no
I
guarantee.
feel like
I think so. I would
presidents
take
there
the
is
chance.
though. Every
How
year,
though?
like every year, like Chelsea go through cycles where they're shit for a year, then they come back and they do.
That's in the old era,
They're
bro.
shit for a year.
Bro, that's
No,
in the
but
old
obviously
era.
I've
It's
seen
been a lot
presidents,
longer than
so-
it's been a year and a half
This
now.
ain't,
bro.
this ain't Abramovich no more. I don't think you can
Chel-
take that as a given anymore.
Me personally, I think Chelsea will eventually come good. So if I was, however old Palmer is, like 19, I'm a sideman at City. I feel like the way I'm built, and I feel like the way a lot of people, especially these footballers as well, who are like, they work really hard. They've got different sort of mentalities. Just winning in a team and not really being key to it ain't really enough for them. I feel like a lot of them have got elite mentality and know that they have a lot of quality. So I feel like someone like Cole Palmer, he's got heights to go in terms of a player. He's very talented. So he's probably thinking, yeah, I win 3 Premier... I don't know, he probably has 3 Premier Leagues already, but he's probably thinking, do I want to be Wes Brown? Or do I want to go... Well, but it's true though. You be Wes Brown.
Yeah,
Do you want to be Wes Brown or do you want to be
West Brom was
Gerrard?
at England international.
I think,
Bro, West Brown was cold, bro. Why
Yeah.
people? No, man.
Okay.
What the fuck?
He said West Brown.
Come on, man.
I don't know about Cole, but you man talk about, you talk about like he's a scrubber. No.
We slander him too much. We slander
Like, this is a
him too
Champions League winner, like,
Bro,
started
the guy got
Champions League
assist, but
finalist, like,
much.
bro,
Obviously,
like,
no, he's a respected.
you know what I mean?
No, the
Like-
thing is, I use him too much in it. He's got a respectable career, and I'm not getting on. But obviously, if you're talking
No,
about,
but he wasn't a
Wes
bad
Brown
player at all.
Or Steve, he was okay.
No, he was a good player.
The guy was
Come on,
brown
man. He was calm.
with brown
cane rolls. His surname was Brown and you don't rate him. That's crazy. All right, I won't use Wes Brown. Tom Cleverley. Don't want me Tom Cleverley. Yeah, cool. You guys don't rate Tom Cleverley, yeah? Don't want me Tom Cleverley or Steven Gerrard.
I mean, Tom
Cleverley has a better career than Steven Gerrard, though.
But Tom Cleverley started for United during that last season.
Yeah, but also Tom Cleverley's CV is better than Gerrard's.
But what would you rather be? Who's remembered?
What would I rather be? Bro. Oh, I can't lie. Cleverley had a decent...
Bro, Cleverley's got a few PL medals.
Be serious and drop these in there. Cleverley don't go into rooms and get respected.
What, bro?
No,
If I saw Cleverley, I'll dap him.
Like as in the elite rooms. He don't,
bro. Free P. What he's got?
I think we could all agree that the move was the best for Cole Palmer and his, career.
Yeah.
I think
I wouldn't stay there too long though if I was him.
I mean, that's the question for other people as well. If you look at like Enzo,
it depends on how Chelsea do though. If Chelsea progress and do well, like what we expect,
that's
to eventually come good.
The thing is, you say,
fine, but I don't expect that.
You know what my problem is with this? Yeah, it's like you say that's what we should expect, but again, there's such a different like circumstance around Chelsea right now. And if you look at you guys always talking about how important like the ownership and that is, it's a completely different like back room now, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So if we actually look at it properly, how can we be so sure that they're actually going to get back to that level?
Yeah.
Well,
if anything, this week was probably a good like reminder to everyone because last week they had a good performance against Arsenal. Obviously, they drew the game. Everyone was very positive. It kind of seemed like they had turned the corner. Then they go back to like the old Chelsea and they lose 2-0 at home to Brentford. So that is like the best reminder that you can have.
I think the major problem is going back to the back room is if you're a young player at Chelsea. I think Gary Neville spoke about it recently as well. It's like, bro, cool, you've got your run now, you've got your time now where you're playing well, but there's another 60 mil, 80 mil player like coming in January, coming in the summer. Like your position's not safe. But
I do feel like Poch is gonna calm it down though, because even in the summer he said too many players.
Yeah, but it's above him.
Romano literally came out today and said they're looking at a striker. Bro.
Yeah, it's above him.
No, he wants a striker.
He's already there. Sterling's there.
But that's the point. When they get a striker, where does he go?
A gap.
I mean,
but when they get a striker,
he's not good. Yeah,
but when they get a striker to play, where does he start playing now?
Palmer plays 10.
Yeah, but he's been playing. He
plays false 9 sometimes as well.
Cool, but and then Nkuku comes back.
Yeah, tight.
He'll play. He probably plays 10. Then you got Raheem on the right, Mudryk currently on the left. They got to force him in somehow. They spent 100 M on him.
It's tough, but I think if with the way Poch is though, if Palmer keeps on performing, he might play Nkuku off the left.
Nah, bro.
I think that's a waste of his talent. Eventually, he'll have to force his way, and Nkunku will have to force his way.
Nkuku can cook off the left.
He can, but he's just more effective.
Let's see if he can.
But the thing is, the problem with even in pre-season, Poch said he doesn't really like the way Nkuku plays 10 because he plays SS.
It's just funny that you say that though, yeah, because it's like the way Pochettino was talking about Nkunku over the past 7 days. It's crazy. Like,
don't want him.
A bit of pressure. He's literally saying to him, like,
he's a baller.
He's saying, Nkunku not playing has cost us 9 or 10 goals already.
I think he'll do it though. He's got the type of personality. I think Nkunku comes in and he fucks up the Premier League.
Has he got personality like that?
I just think he does it. I just feel like he'll do it.
He's got the celebration.
It's the talent as well. Like, I've seen the talent level. If he can't do it, then I don't know. But I've seen the talent.
His talent levels are mad.
His talent level's crazy.
Cool. Guys, underrated goals. Last topic. So, let's go around. Has anyone got like specific underrated goals that they thought of after the topic? I know you had one, Rahimi.
Yeah, I have a couple of them, but the first one is the one that we agreed on. It's the Van Persie goal still.
The one versus Charlton.
The one versus Charlton. That's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Doesn't make sense.
The technique for that goal. I don't think you can teach. That's not stuff you can teach.
Bro, I was saying it's like Jock from Galactic Football.
Yeah,
bro.
no,
it's bro, both feet off the ground, bro, and he generates that much power
and accuracy, and he's running onto the ball. And not a lot of players can do that now or ever. And I don't think we're going to see something like that again, where a player's jumped into the air and both his feet are off the floor, and he
flies into the top corner from the edge of the box.
It was insane. Like, yeah, that's one of the best goals I've ever
seen. And I don't feel like the goal's it's just not really spoken about in mad conversations. Like one of my hot takes in regards to that goal, I think that goal's better than Rooney's bicycle kick.
I think because Rooney shins
on quality of the goal.
Because Rooney shins
on quality of the goal. Obviously, Rooney's bicycle kick, he scores it against City, innit?
You see when you're talking about underrated goals,
it's not bad.
You kind of have to factor in the moment in which it's done and the against, innit? Do you know
Fairs, all right, fair.
That therefore does come into it, in my opinion. And if we're looking at both of the moments, realistically, Rooney's
doing that in the Manchester derby is crazy. We could have used some of that today.
Yeah, you could have.
Maybe more iconic, but technically, Van Persie's one was better.
Technically, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fairs.
Got any others?
I got one still.
Go on.
So my one is, and the thing is, every time I think about the goal, I saw it. The the World Cup's TikTok account, the FIFA World Cup's TikTok account, they showed the goal the other day. And every time I think about the goal, it pisses me off. It's Neymar's goal against Croatia, yeah? When we talk about occasion, yeah? So they were extra time 1-1 with Croatia, yeah? Bro, the quality of that goal, he hits a 1-2, he gets the ball, he's like... And the thing is, all the pressure was on him to do something. Gets the ball, the guy's about like 30 yards out. He puts his foot on the ball before he even thinks about what he's going to do. He takes the ball with a little dribble, bangs a 1-2, bangs another 1-2, run another set of man, takes the ball and creation a proper deep block while he's doing all of this, takes the ball, yeah, gets fouled as he gets literally like fouled by the player, but he was so set on delivering for his country, yeah, still goes round the keeper and scores to basically win it for his team in extra time. And we would have had a Brazil-Argentina semi-final if they did that.
We deserved that.
And we deserved it, bro.
And
that goal, bro. And for me as well, I knew watching that tournament that was probably Neymar's last chance on an international like platform to do something that can really give him the legacy that he deserves. And that Brazil team just wasted it, man. Like, how are you getting countered in extra time? Like, how does that even happen? Like, oh my days. I was watching that goal thinking, these fools. How do you get countered in extra time, bro? When you're up. Like, how does that happen? How are you conceding the transition?
I don't know, man.
Brother, if you don't deep block, I just feel like it was such a waste. If he had scored that goal and then we went on and we had a Brazil-Argentina semi-final.
I wonder who the defensive midfielder was. I wonder.
But yeah, if we had scored a goal, we had a Brazil-Argentina semi-final, and who knows what could have gone on from there. But I feel like that would have been a great legacy game as well. Messi versus Neymar in the semi-final. So yeah, but that's the one for me. Any others?
I'm just trying to think off the top of my head.
I've got one, but it's just the quality of the goal. It's not even necessarily the occasion. But
okay, cool.
Big old Almiron versus Fulham. The volley where he's on the wrong side. The ball, I just can't describe it. The ball's on the wrong side of his body and he slaps it across the goal and it flies over the keeper to the other side. I don't even know if you man remember the goal. I just think the technique to do that is insane. You man, pre-after this game and pre-after this, and you man will know. The technique to do that is insane to me. I just can't believe he could do it. And this is when Jack Grealish got onto him. So this was like a big fuck you to Grealish.
That one.
I think
Okay.
I only got one, really.
Oh, where you going?
I think Aaron Ramsey had a left-footed volley against Galatasaray.
My God.
That one.
I don't feel like I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I don't feel like there's like any player off the top of my head that I could say 100% they would recreate that.
Do you think so?
Left-footed volley from that position. Who else?
Weak foot. He did it with his
Did you see the way he caught that, bro?
I don't think so. Not with your weak
You
foot.
have another guy who could do it. Cazorla could do that.
Not with his weak
bro.
foot.
Not definitively, bro.
The way that ball flew.
It would take a lot. Obviously, no one's gonna just do it off the bat.
Bro, that's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
No, the goal was crazy. The goal was crazy. Like the way that the connection,
and it just slowly rose.
It's
a fairy tale goal, bro.
The technique was so good. It didn't even look like he hit it that hard, and it just flies off his foot. Crazy goal.
What volley's better, that one or the Rooney one?
Which Rooney one?
The Newcastle.
The Newcastle one.
Yeah.
Nah, the Ramsey one, bro.
The Ramsey one.
Rooney's not scoring
The
that.
Ramsey one because it was off his weak foot, and
the technique.
I'm sure he was closer to the halfway line than he was.
Bro, like, that's what I'm saying. This was the edge of the box, like half
that
volley,
goal was
bro. Like,
nuts,
genuinely, where the ball was actually like, where he
I'm
actually
sure it was
hit
a corner. It was a corner, and the ball was thrown out.
He went 40 yards out.
Oh, he slapped. I'm gonna pre. Oh, you slapped.
That goal always comes to my head. Whenever you talk about mad goals, yeah, that one is always like.
Do you know one goal that's mad as well? It was midweek, Fulham. It was a Fulham player. I can't remember his name, yeah. He chests it. He kind of takes the ball in the channel. He chests it and he volleys it.
His name begins with K.
His name's K.
Kasami or something.
Kasami, yeah.
What's his name?
He's running. He chests it. He whacks it and he whacks it.
Bro, the goal is mental. The goal is mad. And the thing is, the goal is bare under it because he scored it like midweek PL game. You know the ones that are like on Amazon Prime and stuff. And man, bro, the volley's crazy. That was a nuts one.
So you man, like, based off all the goals we're talking about, though, it seems like a volley is like the hardest goal to score in football, isn't it?
I feel like volleys get the most in terms of they're the most like.
So the volleys deserve to get more love than like a solo run.
Yes, I know.
I feel like when a player does a solo run, like they get mad love for that.
Yeah, but I feel like solo runs deserve because it's very hard to because you feel like all PL footballers, can probably hit a mad volley.
Jagielka did it.
Exactly. A lot of them can hit a mad volley if they obviously if they time it right and stuff like that. Obviously, other players are much more capable of doing it often. But that actually ability to dribble past 3 or 4 players, bro. You know what I mean? Jagielka can't do that if you let him do it 100 times. So I feel like that's why those goals aren't really underrated. Like they will always get like mad love.
I think you deserve the praise for those goals though, because you're playing against people as good as you and they're really good at defending. For you to rip people and then score is nuts.
Like, do you remember that goal that Ben Arthur scored for Newcastle?
That goal.
That's a solo run that never gets spoken about.
When he puts up,
does not get spoken about.
It does not get spoken about.
Really.
You know why though? It's because he's a streets forget baller. If he was
to be fair, you're right, because he scored on like the last day of the season.
I can't remember when he scored it, but like you see, like Henry's goals. Again, it's kind of to do with PR, and let's be real. But that solo goal was one of the best.
That goal is nuts. Yeah, I feel like it's funny because we didn't mention it because I feel like us, man, because it's a proper streets goal, so we wouldn't remember it. But when you think about like mainstream PR, mainstream media, it's not really spoken about.
Dimitri Payet, I can't remember what team it was.
Oh,
he did something they didn't have to do.
Shout.
He did something they didn't have to do where the ball's gone like this.
That's the free kick. Payet's got bare goals.
But Payet's got another one where he does a mad
the run when he
dribbles all the way. I've got a mad one. It just come to my head. Lamela in like a Europa League group stage game hit a Rabona like.
Oh yeah.
Rabona against us as well.
Yeah, he did. I was gonna say he did against us. Put through someone's legs.
That was a mad goal.
Put through someone's
but
legs.
you guys lost. But I think that won the Puskas, didn't it, or something mad?
Yeah, something like that.
Cause you know what, Rabona is so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. It's like
that Europa League one is nuts.
Realistically, a Rabona is something you should like never really do in high level because it's like, why you bro? Like this has to come off. This has to come off now.
But the only other guy, I think, Adel Taarabt, like obviously this is like one of my favorite Prem ballers still. Just the way that he plays, like it's like power league. Do you remember the goal where he done like a little nutmeg, then he done like a little ball roll, and then outside of the foot, kind of like passed it into the corner.
Oh yeah, against Fulham.
Bro, like it's not the maddest goal I've ever seen, but the cheek to do it. There's not many players, in my opinion, that would have pulled that off.
Yeah, that's
in that way. That was a very satisfying goal to see.
You know what? It's not one that's really underrated. It's like one of the best goals. Well, if you watch like the championship love this goal. But you know the goal he scored in the championship where he does one of the dirtiest nutmegs.
It's the drag back.
I've seen one of the dirtiest nutmegs I've seen in like a proper football game. Like it is like to even try it, it's mad. Like he doesn't even look. He does like a little mad drag back.
Let me just give you a little 30 seconds here. Yeah. You were a baller. You were a baller.
Our real streets won't forget baller, man.
Yeah, absolutely. They done you dirty still.
Right. Yeah. It's a shame he had to beef Harry Redknapp, man.
Yeah, man. They done you dirty, bro. I can't lie. Serious.
He done himself dirty. Let's be real.
Cool. Well, guys, that's the show, man. It was nice to end it on a little bit of nostalgia. I might bring that back a couple times, man. I enjoyed that. Like something along those lines.
You should do, players that should be like. Look like they should be good, but they're not good. And the person that comes into my head is like Jojo Shelby. Yeah, I feel like he should have been a baller.
You feel like
but he just like you look at the tech and some of the passes he put, but for some reason it never happened.
Not a lot of concentration, innit? Yeah, I think that's a good one. I got a couple in my mind already.
Do that next week.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, 30. All right, guys, thank you, man. We'll be back next week as always giving you content weekly. Like, subscribe. What's the other one? Comment. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Cool.
Go work on the ending.